Good morning. Now, student, we are taking the proof of Gauss law. In the previous lecture, we are discussing on the Gauss theorem and the Gaussian surface and how to apply the Gauss theorem on the different kind of charge distribution. Now, today we first take the proof of Gauss's theorem. Proof of Gauss's theorem. Okay, student. For proving it, first we need to assume a charge distribution. For this proof, we are taking a isolated point charge plus Q, which is placed at the center at point O, and in the first step we are discussing we have to imagine a Gaussian surface. Now we are imagining here a Gaussian surface of radius r around this point O. Okay, this is a spherical Gaussian surface whose radius is r. Okay, now we are taking a small area element and we think about this surface is made up of many small area elements. This area element we considered as ds. Okay, student, and we are finding the value of electric field at every point for this surface is radially outward, and similarly the area vector about the element is vector ds. Okay, student, vector ds. Then we find the area vector and element and electric field is radially outward for this isolated charge and for the spherical Gaussian surface. Now we write something. Let an isolated charge plus Q at O at point O and as we imagine and let a Gaussian surface spherical surface surface of radius r around O and magnitude of electric field is same at all point on the surface and and directed radially outward radially outwards with in same direction of a small area element area vector. This is how to imagine a surface and specify the angle between the area vector and the electric field. Now the second step is we have to find the electric flux. First we calculate the electric flux for this small area element. Now electric flux for a small area element ds is d phi e equal to vector e ds cos 0 degree. Why we are taking 0 degree? Because both are radially outward, 90 on the surface electric field and as well as area element. So the angle between both is 0 degree. We are identifying to you. I am identifying to you angle between E and ds is 0 degree for this case. Okay, so we are getting this value E ds, equation first. Therefore total flux passing through the surface, total flux phi e equal to closed integral of the surface d phi e. On putting this value, first we are d phi e, and this d phi e is equal to vector e dot vector ds, and we are getting this result is eds. Okay, now we have phi e is equal to, e is a constant and closed surface integral ds, and student, in the electric flux I am telling you the value of this ds is for a circle, because the charge is equally distributed over the surface. So the surface area of the surface, which is spherical, that is E into 4 pi r square, equation second. Okay student, now we have E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square. Therefore this phi E is equal to, in place of E we are putting this value 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square and 4 pi r square. We are finding this 4 pi cancel this and this r square cancel this. We are getting q upon epsilon naught. Okay, so this is proof of Gauss's theorem, that is q upon epsilon naught, and this is the value of the flux passing through the surface is q upon epsilon naught. This is proof of Gauss's theorem. Copy this. Okay, now we are taking some application of the Gauss theorem. For proving the first application on the basis of Gauss theorem is derivation of Coulomb's law from Gauss theorem. For proving it, we are considering a spherical Gaussian surface around a point charge. Okay. Consider a point charge plus q1 is located at O of spherical Gaussian surface of radius r. Okay, for charge plus q1, electric field is calculated on the surface on the surface. Therefore, we have a spherical Gaussian surface of radius r, of its center O plus q1 charge is placed, and on the surface a point P where we need to calculate the electric flux. Okay, student? For calculating electric flux, electric field, we calculate first the electric flux passing through this surface. Okay, therefore electric field at point P is radially outwards and equal in magnitude, and angle between electric field and a small area element ds is 0 degree. Therefore, electric flux passing through the surface phi is equal to closed integral of the surface vector E dot ds. Okay, student? On solving this, closed integral E ds cos 0 degree, and the cos 0 degree is 1. Therefore, phi E is equal to, E is a constant, closed integral of surface ds, and this value is 4 pi r square. Therefore, E into 4 pi r square equation first. Okay, now we need to calculate the charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface. Now the total charge enclosed by the surface is Q. Therefore, on applying Gauss theorem, Gauss's law, on equation first, we get phi E is equal to surface integral EDS equal to Q upon epsilon naught. This is equation second. Now, from first, the value of phi or vector EDS is E into 4 pi r square is equal to Q upon epsilon naught. Therefore, for this Gaussian surface, we are calculating here the electric field, that is, electric field is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square. This is equation third. Now student, we are considering here a point charge on this point P is Q2. Okay, plus Q2. Now due to this charge, Q2 is experience a force, therefore let Q2 is on the surface at P. Therefore, it experience electric force due to electric force due to charge Q1 at O, that is force is equal to Q2E. Okay student, this is equation 4. Now on putting this value of equation 3 in equation 4, we are getting this force F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. This is Coulomb's law. This is how we are derived the formula of Coulomb's law by using Gauss's theorem. Copy this in your notebook. Okay, now we take another application. The another application on the Gauss theorem is electric field due to a infinitely long straight charged wire. Okay student, now I am taking here a charge wire which is charged with plus q charge and having a charge density lambda, okay, over the length L. For calculating electric field due to this charge wire, we first need to imagine a Gaussian theorem. Let me imagine a Gaussian theorem. Because it is a length wire, so we are using a cylindrical Gaussian surface. Okay, student. And this Gaussian surface is having as axis of the line charged wire. Therefore, the electric field due to the charge wire for the different surfaces. Now I am showing you this electric field due to the curved surface. Student, it is considered as a cylindrical. You all find the length is as a curved surface and the top and bottom of the cylinder is as a flat surface. Okay, so we are considering or specifying the angle in for the curved surface and the flat surfaces. So this is now electric field for this charge is this electric field for this charge, electric field for this charge, electric field for this charge, and electric field for this charge. Similarly, in this direction, okay. Now in a cylindrical surface we have three surfaces. We are specifying these three. I am specifying these three surfaces. This is surface 1. Okay. This is surface 2 and the bottom surface is as surface 3. Now the area vector for these surfaces. Area vector for the curved surface vector E, vector ds, vector E, vector ds, vector E, vector ds. Okay. And for the area vector for flat surface is vector ds and this is vector E, and the angle between the flat surface is 90. You all observing here. Okay. And for the bottom surface, this is a small area vector and the angle is also 90. Okay. Now we find the angle between electric field and area element. Angle between the curved surface, electric field and area element ds is 0 degree, theta is 0 degree, and for the flat surface theta 1 is 90 and here also theta 3 is 90. Now in the figure I am showing you the direction of electric field and area vector for all three surfaces and the angle between the area vectors. Now we are taking the concept about this. Consider a line infinitely long wire having charge density lambda, having charge density lambda. Now let consider on 1 minute. Let a cylindrical surface cylindrical Gaussian surface having long straight wire, long straight wire on its axis. Electric field at all point is same and angle between electric field and area vector for curved surface and flat surfaces is 0 degree and 90 degree. Therefore, second step is calculate electric flux for the closed surface. Electric flux due to the surface is vector EDS, E dot ds. Now this cylinder has three surfaces. We calculate the electric field due to the three surfaces. First is first flat surface, that is EDS cos theta 1 plus electric field for curved surface EDS cos theta 2 and plus for the second flat surface EDS cos theta 3. Okay student, now closed integral of vector EDS is For first flat surface, EDS cos 90 degree plus curved surface EDS cos 0 degree, and second flat surface EDS cos 90 degree. Okay student, now this will become 0 plus E is constant, curved surface ds, and plus this is also 0, so we have electric field curved surface ds. Okay, therefore closed integral of the surface vector EDS is equal to E into 2 pi r l, where integration ds is equal to 2 pi r l. Here student, we are using in place of ds pi r l because the cylinder has curved surface area 2 pi r h. Here in place of h we are using length l. Okay, now the third step is total charge enclosed by the surface is Q, which is given by Q is equal to lambda L. Equation, this is equation first, this is equation second. Okay, now by Gauss's law, closed integral EDS Q upon epsilon naught. Here this Q is equal to lambda L upon epsilon naught. Okay, and we have the value of EDS is, this is equation third, from first and third we are getting E into 2 pi RL is equal to lambda L upon epsilon naught. Now student, this L is cancelled and we are getting the value of electric field due to the line charge wire is 1 upon 4 pi 1 upon 2 pi epsilon naught lambda upon R. This is the electric field due to the straight long wire. Copy this. Thank you.